All right, guys, there is no plan B. Let's get into it. All right, guys, this is Emmett Stallworth, the Alpha Builder. It's been a minute since I had a chance to kind of do videos like this. Guys, hit the like button or comment, and let's get started, guys. I had a couple of guys. This right here video was inspired because I had one of my students to bring a couple of guys over, younger guys, man. We had some younger guys that, they played sports, and they were probably in maybe the 8th grade, getting ready to go to high school. Well, no, I think they may have been 9th grade in high school. But these was young African-American guys, boys, and it was good to be able to engage with these guys and be able to show them that besides playing sports, there are other things that you can do. There are other things that you can get involved in to afford you a good lifestyle. And I don't know which way we're going to go with this right here video, guys. I'm just going to kind of just go with the flow. But I was trying to get these guys what he wanted to do, and what I wanted to do was get these young boys to understand that you can really make a decent living, and you don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be a entertainer. You don't have to be a football player, a basketball player. You don't have to do any of these things, guys. You can simply do things like be a subcontractor or be a contractor. You can work in the blue collar. You can do mechanical, not necessarily just houses and things like that, man. But there are many ways that you can make a decent living in today's time, and you have your own business. That's where it's at, guys. And so we were doing, we had the guys, we were talking to them, and I was talking to them. At first, they didn't know I was the builder. I kind of met on the site with them, and we was trying to do it as though I wasn't the builder. But one thing that concerned me, when I was talking to him, and I'm going to send this video to him, to my student that brought the guys over. And man, I appreciate you for bringing those guys over to let them see another way. But one thing that he mentioned to the guys that you got to have a plan A, plan B, maybe plan C. And I get where he was going with this right here, guys. You have to have yourself positioned to where if things don't work out, you have other options. I get that. But now when it comes to me, and this is the harsh reality, what I had to realize, and he may be right with probably most people, but when it comes to me and what I'm trying to do, I have no plan B. I have no plan C or D. Guys, I've always wanted to be a builder, and I always wanted to do what I'm doing now. I got to make it work. I have to make this work. Now, I may go into, guys, I went into teaching. I did a little teaching on the side, and I still do teaching now because I love to teach. I think I found my purpose. But guys, when you have plan A and you have that drive, you got to make it work. You got to do whatever it takes to make whatever it is, that whatever your purpose is on this planet, you got to make it work. Now, one thing that we can do, and one thing that we have to do, and that's why, guys, I think it's so critical for these young boys today to grow up with a father, to have fathers, to be able to guide them in their track on life. Now, being able to guide them means that as a father, and guys, I can see it. I got 2 boys, man, and I can look at both of my boys, and I already know what their strengths are. So I try to help guide them toward their purpose. Now, I don't know, I figured their purpose out because I've been watching them when they were little, and I can help guide them. But here's the catch, guys. I think once you find out what your purpose is, it's easy after that. Your purpose is plan A, and you got to make your purpose work. Your purpose is typically something that you can do and you're not even thinking about it. You can do it. You can do it. You don't even necessarily need to be paid for it because you have such a passion to do it that you don't have to be even paid for it in most cases. Now, I know, guys, we're living in a time, we're living in a society where, there has to be some kind of monetary gain to it in order for you to continue to do your passion or your purpose. So I get it. So, but it's something that you would do almost for free, man. And and if you're in your purpose, it doesn't even seem like work. Matter of fact, it's not going to be work. Everybody else is looking at whatever they're doing. If they're doing what you're doing and it's not their purpose, they're going to be looking at it as work. So the amount of time that they're going to, the amount of time that they're going to put into it is not going to be like the amount of time that you put into it. Because you're going to be thinking about it and you're going to love to do what you do and you're going to innovate. You're going to become better and it's going to grow, guys. And people are going to see what your purpose is. Now, once you find out what your purpose is, like I said, guys, that becomes your plan A. So what we should be doing is we really need to be sitting down with these young boys and watching them to find out what their purpose is. And then we help guide them toward their purpose. And once we figure that out, the game should be easy after that. Now I get why, guys, if you ever, when I was used to be teaching, we used to have to go observe these Montessori schools. And they kind of put the kids in the room and they watch the kids and they watch the kids. I'm talking about little kids. They watch the kids and they watch what the kids, they put a whole bunch of things out there. And the kids start focusing toward their purpose. Toward what they like to do. And then the teacher, or whoever's facilitating the whole thing, simply just guide that kid and grow that particular purpose that kid is starting to gravitate toward. So that's one thing, guys. And like I said, I think one thing that we should do, guys, I keep saying this right here. I don't know if the African-American community, when I'm talking about African-American community, it's just not African-Americans, guys. It's white, black, it's all colors now, guys. I think the African-Americans are the canary in the canary in the coal mine. We were the first ones. Like anything that's horrific in our society, it kind of hits us first because we don't have our families intact. See, guys, once you remove that father from that household, you remove number one, the protection in that household. And you also remove provision to a degree. Now, I mean, women can make money nowadays too, but you remove those, at least one of those things you remove. And when you remove one of those items, protection or provision, it becomes very difficult for those kids when they're growing up. And like I said, guys, I think that fathers are really good at looking at their boys and figuring out and helping guide their boys toward their purpose. And once you figure out that purpose and what their purpose is, and it may not be to play sports. In most communities and some communities, I know that, they tell their kids right off the back, hey, look, you ain't going to be no athlete. You might as well get that up. I mean, you're not going to be, you don't have the body for it. You're not fast. And we see this. I mean, we're going to let you play sports or baseball or football or basketball or whatever it is. We let you play just so you can learn the camaraderie amongst men and learn pecking orders and things like that and how boys engage and things like that. Yes, we're going to let you do that. But at the end of the day, man, once you get up to college and, in junior college, you're probably not going to make it that far. So what you need to do is, hey, we got this trust fund over here. And what we're going to do is we already got you a couple of rental houses and we're going to let you, pretty much master that game and build your wealth up. And heck, you can become the owner of the team that you want to play for. That's a father looking at their kid and saying, hey, they see the value in their kids and they're creating a purpose for them or helping their kid find their purpose. But guys, I have no plan A. I'm sorry. I have no plan B. I have no plan C, D. And what I had to realize, here's something else, man. This is another reality, guys. I have to realize that, especially in the entrepreneur side and have your own business, I really had to realize that everybody's not like me. I might represent 10% of the population. Everybody doesn't want to be a business owner and have their own business and do their own thing and have a passion to try to grow a business so that you can provide methods and ways for other people like subcontractors to make a living, and you created that for them. Everybody's not like that. Everybody don't want to be a business owner. Some people just want to go work their job, go home, go to sleep, and do the same thing every day. Have your weekends off. Some people just like that, man. And I had to come to that harsh reality. I had a cousin of mine. He came to Birmingham. He moved here. He came to the Birmingham area from Chicago. Me and this guy grew up together. He's 1 year behind me, but we grew up together from little boys. Same grandmama. We spent a lot of time growing up together. And when he moved here a couple of years ago, he recently moved back. But when he moved here, man, I was like, man, I got somebody I can trust now, man. We're gonna go in business. I already had my business, and this guy's gonna come here, man, and he's gonna be somebody that I can really trust. I'm gonna get him on this game, and we're gonna do this, man, and we're gonna take Birmingham by storm. We're gonna take over. That guy came here. He'd been here almost 2.5 years, maybe 3 years. I seen him twice. I would call him and try to, hey, man, let's do this thing, man. You and me, big dog. And until he told me this, I realized everybody's not like me. And guys, you can't take everybody with you on your track to entrepreneurship. He told me, I called him on the phone, and he told me, he said, look, man, he was a stay-home dad. I don't even know if he had a job. He might have had a partial job or something, but he wasn't getting paid. I don't know what his financial thing was like, but I don't think it was like a regular job. But his wife was pretty much making the money. She was the income provider for the house. And I can't wrap my head around that, man. I'm like, man, if you're a man, you need to be doing your thing. This guy told me, I don't want to do what you do. I like my life the way it is. I like what I do. I like coming home every day, being a stay-home dad. And I had to realize at that point, this is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. When I say it's not for everybody, everybody's not going to have a passion to be an entrepreneur. That's not going to happen. But now you can still have a purpose, though. Some people, especially some people who have been working all their life, they decide to retire. Well, their purpose is gone. And a lot of times they die within a couple of years of them retiring because their purpose in life, especially men, their purpose in life is gone. So guys, if you didn't get anything out of this right here video, I want you to get that if you want to take this thing to the next level, you have to make plan A work. Like, share, subscribe. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. And guys, this is the way. You guys have a good one.